The turtle floated under the water with a bamboo pole. Who knows the next second will be forced into the water. All that was left to eat was an empty shell. Animals have adapted to living in low temperatures since the Ice Age. They live in harmony in a great basin surrounded by icebergs. Who knows a chance? Manny the mammoth found the top of the glacier melting. If this goes on, in less than 3 days, the basin will be flooded. All the animals that live here drown. Even more deadly are the underwater beasts that are frozen in place. They have been hungry for thousands of years. Sensing all this, Manny quickly told the other animals about it. People didn't believe it at first, until huge chunks of ice fall from above. Only then did they realize the seriousness of the problem. According to the vultures, they decided to go to the other side of the valley, looking for a ship called Noah's Ark. The animals quickly packed their bags and prepared to go. It wasn't all smooth sailing. Manny's heart sank. He fears he has become the world's last mammoth. The next second, there was a huge elephant call from nearby. He searched excitedly for the source of the voice, but the results were surprising. The hopes that had just been raised were again dashed. Manny came down to the river. Look at the reflection in the water and feel sad. Who knows a turn of the head? God gave her a huge surprise. Elle is a female mammoth. The reason why she fell from a tree, to find his 2 brothers. Manny was even more excited, because it means there are others. But when Elle's brothers did show up, his smile froze on his face. Because I was adopted by possums. Elle was adamant that he was a possum too. Manny was speechless, but Buddy Sid talked him out of it. In order to help a good brother make this match, the Germans invited Elle and his brothers to join them on the road. But it wasn't easy trying to set them up. Elle is a difficult man. Despite his size, he still behaves like a possum. Sneaky. See the eagle hovering in the air, also subconscious, and brother fell down together play dead. Even when he was told that the mammoth was going extinct, he used a sympathetic tone to urge Manny to get over it. Words won't convince her. Manny will have to give more evidence. The 2 men's footprints were in the same shape, and the shadows matched. That did make Elle suspicious. Manny gave up the fight. Draw attention back to the road. They were a group of animals walking on the ice. What they hadn't noticed was that there were already some dangerous creatures lurking beneath the ice. 2 possums are fighting. Who knows the next second the sea beast broke through the ice. Even the fiercest saber-toothed tiger on the road was petrified. Global warming has brought the frozen monster back to life. They shuttled under the water to keep an eye on what was happening above. Shade was fighting for his life. He managed to climb on the ice just before the monster arrived, only to find Diego had been frozen in place by fear. With the water monster so close at hand, he could only aim at Diego's tail and bite down. This allowed them to jump back into the water. On the other side, Manny wrestles with a fierce ichthyosaur. Luckily, mammoths carry ivory as a weapon. The ichthyosaur was eventually thrown back into the water. Manny ended the first round with a sharp look. The 2 water monsters can only be unhappy back, the main task of return migration. Manny had thought that his latest act of bravery would impress Elle, but they don't understand. Manny was deeply hurt by these words. The dislike of Elle only deepened, but Sid thinks it's because he likes Elle, to care so much about what the other person says. For the future of the mammoths, Manny decided to go after Ally. A group of people passed through the woods that night. Elle was playing around, and he just put himself under the tree. Manny moved the trunk for her with his nose. Elle was at a loss. The next second, the tree branches away. The girl's attention was soon drawn to the path in front of her. She walked unconsciously into the depths of the woods, until the memories of my childhood came flooding back. She finally remembered the place in front of her. As a cub, Elle was separated from her family. The most desperate time is a possum father took 2 brothers took her in. Maybe it's like Manny said. At this thought, she put her foot in the pit in the ground. Finally accepted himself as a mammoth. On the way back, they opened up to each other for the first time. Elle was always ashamed of his size, but Manny thought Elle was in great shape for a mammoth. The girl who heard this was very happy. Manny also took advantage of the hot iron to speak out all his wishes.
不知道你和我能保住我们的物种。
是吗？我们怎么做？
那样做。
你 你是说
不，别误会。
我刚坐牢下没多久，你就想拿我的主意？
Manny's hasty words. Ally was very offended. The relationship between the two men, which they had just patched up, was back on ice. Even the Possum brothers looked down on Manny when they found out. The atmosphere became awkward for a moment. The two were fighting as they hurried along. He didn't notice the danger hidden in the thick fog around him. Two elephants weighing 1,000 pounds are standing on a rickety rock. If you're not careful, you'll fall. Saber-toothed tiger, get Manny and Elle to hook their noses. Keep your balance with both bodies for the time being. And take this opportunity to finally apologize to each other. They scrambled up the cliff before the pile collapsed. Diego, lagging behind, almost fell off the cliff. Manny and Elle saved him with their noses. The relationship between the two began to warm up.
这下我们都在一起做一件事。
嘿嘿，别理我，我在这儿挂着挺好。
That night, everyone stayed deep in the woods. West Germany was secretly abducted by some mysterious creatures. When he opened his eyes, he found himself surrounded by his own kind. They fell to their knees and worshipped West Germany as a god. He even built a huge stone statue in his image. Because the West Germans had used rocks, do whatever you want, and the sloths will follow the Demon King. He had never known such a feeling of support. When he finally comes to his senses, tied up and pushed to the edge of the cliff, the sloths thought that if they sacrificed the King of Fire, global warming will stop. They threw West Germany into a cave. Luckily, the rope wasn't long enough to throw him back into the statue. As soon as it hit the lava, sloths think it's bad luck brought on by sacrifice. Running, screaming from the scene. West Germany was also caught in the stones and rolled away. A narrow escape from death. He's going through hell on his side, but my companions in the woods know nothing. Diego opened his eyes the next day. It was found that the melting water of the glaciers had spread to the trees. They must be on their way at once. But by this time, Sid was dead toned back. He told us what happened last night, but Diego and others thought he was sleepwalking. Didn't take his words seriously at all. Finally, on the last day of the plan, he was startled. We're looking at a huge army.
哦，只是些热水和蒸汽，没什么大不了的。
Manny is going to force his way through the final checkpoint, but Elle didn't want to die in vain. I'm going to take a detour. The two men fell out again. Each thinks the other is too stubborn. Eventually, they go their separate ways, striding off in the opposite direction. After a series of soul-stirring runs, Manny managed to make it to the ship because I was worried about Elle. He asked as he walked, but the animals around said they hadn't seen Elle. The ground underfoot shook violently again. Everyone was frightened and quickened their steps. But Elle, on the other hand, was trapped in a cave by the tremors. For the sake of my two brothers, Elle sent them through the top hole. As soon as the brothers got out, they went to Manny for help. And Manny didn't hesitate to turn back, even though he was pressed for time. It wasn't long before a deluge of water hit. The pavement beneath our feet was washed away. Manny rolled up a tree trunk with his nose and stuck it through the hole in the cave. I tried to pry the stone open with a lever, but I can't exert any strength in the water. I had to hook Elle by the nose to comfort her. The ichthyosaur dragged Manny to the bottom. An attack on it was imminent, but at the last minute, Manny led them to the cave. With the help of force, the stone at the entrance of the cave was successfully pried open. Elle was finally rescued, but before they could be happy, they noticed that the water had spread from their feet to their waists. What they don't know is that a persistent squirrel is trying to climb over an iceberg with a nut in his hand. When he finally made it to the top, the hole left by the nut also forms a dotted line. The huge iceberg split in two along the dotted line. Let the basin all the sea water flow out. And because of that, all the animals that live here have been saved. While the team rejoiced, Manny suddenly looked into the distance and his eyes widened. Because where the iceberg broke off, there was a herd of mammoths walking slowly toward them, which means Manny and Elle aren't alone. They are no longer the world's last mammoths. The end of the story. Elle and his brother joined the Manny trio. What kind of adventure awaits them next?